Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Yeah. You know what? I got to find that video. It's a video I did, I want to say it was maybe a year ago, when I said that this day would come. I said it. I said that the Dallas Cowboys could be possibly looking at a holdout situation with Ezekiel Elliott. I said it. I said it. And you know what? The nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall of the Dallas Cowboys content creators to act like y'all not supposed to be making videos right now. The nerve of y'all to go hiding in y'all little show. I got a hard time finding the Dallas Cowboy content creator video right now. Of course, you're going to get the usual Mark Holmes stuff, but I got a hard time finding the rest of y'all right now. Don't go hiding right now. Don't go hiding right now. First it was, oh, Ezekiel Elliott just missed the flight. He already in L.A. Well, I'm hearing he in Mexico. And Mexico, L.A. got some Mexican people that live. A lot of Mexicans live in L.A. But you might be confused about what country this man is in. Ezekiel Elliott is in full holdout mode, and he got the right to be. The disrespect. To think that Amari Cooper played 8 games with the Dallas Cowboys. The disrespect towards Ezekiel Elliott is offensive to me. And as you can see, I'm an Eagles fan. Disrespect. If Ezekiel Elliott was in the Eagles uniform, he would have been taken care of. He's the engine that drives that pathetic train. And you know what? The thing about the Dallas Cowboys fans base is this, man. They refuse to accept Dak Prescott for what he is. For what he is. They refuse to accept it. So you mean to tell me Ezekiel Elliott doesn't deserve to get paid before Dak Prescott does? Why? Why? What gives you guys the idea that Dak Prescott has done so much more than Ezekiel Elliott? You know I got some notes. You know what I mean? Because nothing don't mean nothing unless you can point some facts out to some people. I mean, I got some notes. But before we get to the notes, we got to understand a lot. We got to understand a lot. Listen, Dak Prescott is a quarterback who needs pieces. You can't pay nobody $35 million who needs assistance to get the job done. Now, I get paid pretty handsomely to do my day-to-day job when I go to work, when I'm not doing my hobby, which is making YouTube videos. But I don't need no assistance. I don't need to be micromanaged. I don't need a running back to wipe my ass for me. Dak Prescott is a handicapped quarterback demanding a king's ransom to be average. Middle of the pack trash. Trash. Ezekiel Elliott is one of the best players in the NFC, one of the best players in the National Football League. But yet and still we spit on Zeke's name like he don't deserve to be holding out right now. It's even Dallas Cowboys content creators. Well, if he don't show up, we'll untrade him. Well, then your season is back in the dark ages then. Your franchise is back. You went backwards if you trade Ezekiel Elliott. But the lack of bravery from y'all is what really got me mad. The lack of bravery from y'all to cam up. Y'all ain't even lose a game yet, and y'all can't even get on the camera and face the truth. The lack of bravery from y'all. I'm sorry if the sun is out here too much, but you know we come to the roof to get closer to God when we got to talk to these mortals known as Dallas Cowboy fans. Listen, man, at the end of the day, everybody likes to point out a lot of things about Dak Prescott. The one thing that really always bothered me about Dak Prescott is, you know, the 8 fourth quarter comebacks and the 14 game winning drives. That's one of the favorite stats of these Dallas Cowboys. But those stats have been blanketed by the brilliance of Ezekiel Elliott. Listen, out of the 8 fourth quarter comebacks and 14 game winning drives, 4 of those games he had no touchdowns. So how are you going to give a man credit for that? Number one. 3 of those games, he had under 200 passing yards. So really, was he really a factor in the win? Hell no, he wasn't a factor in the win. But it gets even deeper than that. In 2016, out of all of these, out of the 8 fourth quarter comebacks and the 14 game winning drives that came in 2016, in every one of those games, Ezekiel Elliott had over 100 rushing yards. Whatever comebacks that they're giving Dak credit for, out of the 8 and 14 in 2016, Ezekiel Elliott had over 100 rushing yards. I can't give him. He didn't put the team on his back and do it with his arm in 2016 when it came to these game-winning drives and comebacks. How is he getting this invisible credit for the ones that occurred in 2016? Now, for the ones in 2017, I'll give you a little bit of credit for that. You know what I mean? But they came against because Zeke was suspended, so he had to do something on his own. But out of the 8 out of the 14 that came in 2017, the year the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, was against Arizona, New York, who was trash, Oakland, who was trash, and Philly, who was resting players because it was like the last game of the season. And they won 6-0, they won 6-0 against third stringers. But they gave that to Dak. Listen, in 2017, the comebacks that came, were against Arizona, a non-playoff team, the New York Giants, a non-playoff team, and the Oakland Raiders, where they did that little, what was it? They did the little index card thing. Basically gave them that game, and against the Philadelphia Eagles, who were arresting people because we had the conference sewn up and we had a bye. Now, the fourth quarter comebacks and the game-winning drives that came in 2018, Zeke also had 100 yards in each one of those games as well. You're talking about a guy who if he didn't get suspended in 2017, Ezekiel Elliott probably would have led the league in rushing since he's been in the National Football League. Who in the hell thinks Zeke don't got leverage here? Who don't think Zeke got leverage here? Who are these guys that's making this stuff up? Now, Ezekiel Elliott is the most important player on the Dallas Cowboys. I said this day would come. I said that they will be holding out. I said Dak will be middle of the pack. Listen, if Ezekiel Elliott don't play this season for the Dallas Cowboys will not make the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys do not have a chance. This theory that anybody can run behind that line is ludicrous. Zeke is a generational talent at the running back position. Zeke has got better every year, including the suspension year. He's gotten better. Didn't he have 1,000 yards rushing in the suspension year? If I'm not, when he missed 6 games, if I'm not mistaken. Ezekiel Elliott is a threat, man. Ezekiel Elliott is a threat. So I'll go back to the question again. How much credit can you give Dak Prescott if all the fourth quarter comebacks and all the game-winning drives in 2016 and 2018 had 100 yards rushing by Ezekiel Elliott, and the ones in 2017 where Zeke wasn't suspended came against Arizona, the Giants, Oakland, and the Eagles, who were resting starters because we had the conference sewn up? Let me tell you guys something, man. On these games, this is what these stats tell me. On these game-winning drives that they're giving Dak Prescott credit for, all this credit that, in my opinion, he don't deserve, this is what's happening. Say the football field is 100 yards. You got, no. On a usual kickoff, when you got a game-winning drive, you're getting it at the 25. Out of the 75 yards, I believe Ezekiel Elliott is managing the clock, running the ball on first down, making sure Dak Prescott is in a suitable situation to pass on third down, even if it even gets to third down. And the game-winning drive, do you know your running back is one of the most important pieces to that drive? Especially one who could get you 5 yards per carry on first down, who knows how to run behind an already talented offensive line? I don't understand the logic in some of these football fans. I don't get it. So if the football field is 75 yards, Ezekiel Elliott is running 60 of it, and your man is throwing for 15 of it, Ezekiel Elliott is the only reason that bootleg crap worked, because everybody studies so hard to stop Zeke. And Fitness Cheat Code pointed that out. I watched this video this morning. Ezekiel Elliott is the only reason y'all went 13-3. Dak Prescott was a game manager in 2016. A game manager. Do you know Dak Prescott is he's the second Dallas Cowboys quarterback in consecutive games to throw for not one touchdown, but multiple interceptions since 1990 and Troy Aikman, when Troy Aikman did it? I repeat, there's only 2 quarterbacks in Dallas Cowboys history that have thrown for multiple interceptions and no touchdowns in consecutive games. And that's Dak Prescott and Troy Aikman. What do they both have in common? They weren't elite passers and they were game managers. Don't run, Dallas. Don't run from us now, Dallas, because the onslaught is just beginning. I don't care if you don't got Zeke. I don't care if we punish you 45-zip because Zeke ain't playing. Remember these words. Y'all saying y'all don't need Zeke, right? I don't care. Make videos. Don't run now.